What is up, people? This is your boy Crypto Salvo here, and today we'll be talking about Quant. Yes, QNT is a ticker for Quant Network, and it has been our house favorite this year. And before that, I would like to wish you all a belated Merry Christmas wishes. And we have some surprise, or rather say some Christmas gift from the Quant community, from the Quant team, the Quant Network team actually, and that is the release of QRC-20 standard. Now, what is that QRC-20? We have heard of ERC-20, we have heard of XRC-20, which is the XDC or Zinfin Networks version of Ethereum's tokens, right? ERC-20, but Quant right now has this standard called QRC-20, the MLT standard, right? So now here we see how Mason has actually mentioned about it, where Quant has MDApps, and when you upgrade from Ethereum DApps, you can actually to interoperable MDApps. What happens is the scope of using those DApps, right, is massive. It becomes bigger, of course, because of overledger and interoperability. You can move between different chains, right? It's cross chain. So the Bank of International Settlements has also MCBDC, which is a multiple CBDC bridge. I think recently or a few months ago we covered on the BIS project, right, where they're building a CBDC bridge which had connections with XRP as well. Now we have to understand that Ripple and Quant are working on the digital pound, and they have a official Twitter page which is called, I think, the Digital Pound Foundation. We have their newsletters you can subscribe to, and hearing how are they advancing, how are they pushing for a digital pound in the country, right? So here the Quant investor has mentioned, with QRC-20, I have no doubt that Quant will be a top 3 project. Maybe it will flip Ethereum sooner than we think. CEO 10 out of 10, team 10 out of 10, use cases 10 out of 10, tokenomics 10 out of 10, mass adoption importance 10 out of 10. If you hold Quant, you're holding the holy grail of crypto. So that's what he has mentioned. Definitely trust me, there is going to be a supply shock for Quant, and you will never see it coming, because I'll be talking about the current supply right now on exchanges, and you will be surprised, or you'll be shocked at how low the percentage is. In fact, compared to the previous video I mentioned, it was sitting at about 1.42%. You may have thought, with all those sell-off, with all those price decrease, you would have thought that there is actually more supply right now on exchanges, but that's not true. In fact, whales are buying up the paper hands, right? Whales are buying up what people are selling to them. So that is the smart money that's coming into even the Quant price action. So moving on, right? So let's look at this. Swift aims to test tokenization in 2022. Clearstream Northern Trust SETL to participate. I believe that SETL has connections with Quant, I believe. So and Swift, in this video we'll be talking about how Swift and Quant Network has connections through too, right? So you can check this article out. I won't be reading word for word. So they have mentioned DLT here, and Swift and SETL, basically tokenization, and I believe that even tokenized assets could go through Quant Network, because it is interoperable, it is an overledger, right? It can move through different chains, and currently they are prioritizing Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP ledgers, right, the technology, and soon they will be including Polkadot, I believe, Polkadot and the main important bigger ones, right, in market cap. So Talking about the supply just now, look at the supply. It's 1.39% only left, and it has been on a steady decrease, ever since, from 1.42% to 1.39%. Trust me, you may think that the 0.03% makes no difference, but it does make a difference, right, when you account to the 14 million supply. And you have to understand the supply of Quant is much lesser, right, than Bitcoin. Bitcoin is at 18 million to 20 million ish. Quant is at 14 million. That's right. And there is going to be a huge supply shock. In fact, there's one post where Coinbase has already put a limit on buying orders for users in their exchange, which is insane, because it just means that we are running out of Quant, man. So none of this is financial advice. Whatever is said or written here in this video is not financial advice, but please do your own research and evaluate your risk portfolio before getting into cryptocurrency and investing into any of them. Now, you can check out Coin-Fi. It's a very good and useful website for people who want to look at some on-chain metrics of certain tokens, especially Ethereum-based tokens, right? So Quant, I believe, is currently ERC-20 token, but we can definitely see it moving into another ledger. If let's say Ethereum faces issues and all with the upgrade to ETH 2.0 and all, it won't be an issue for Quant because it is over ledger technology. That means it can move. It is blockchain agnostic, right? And that's what we talked about in the previous video for Quant. Now, like I mentioned earlier, we have MLT standard QRC-20. Now, you must get used to this term QRC-20 because it is going to be the standard, right? And they have solved the huge gas fees problem with Ethereum's ERC-20 tokens and the transactions that take up thousands and thousands of dollars. You can see many screenshots, people complaining, users complaining when they want to buy NFT, when there's even retail investors, like small investors, who want to just buy $100 or $50 worth of Ethereum NFTs, and they end up getting like $200, $300 gas fees just for a $50 NFT, which discourages, in fact, retail investors from even investing in Ethereum's network, which is of course bad, and I hope that ETH 2.0 fixes it. But before that, even that ETH 2.0 that we do not know, which is uncertain, we do not know when it comes, right? We have the Quant Network team solve that problem with QRC-20. I think there is a screenshot where it shows how much they have decreased. In fact, 93% of the gas fees have been reduced by the QRC-20 token standard. And I believe in the coming months, this is going to explode massively in the crypto space, where everyone is going to be using QRC-20 standard, right? Now, this comes with the Overledger 2.1.5 release, where they have enabled license fees for an ability to pay Overledger license fees in Quant, right? Instead of cash, they have made it to Quant. This can be paid in Quant using MetaMask, and they have a user guide for that. And so this is where they release, I believe, the QRC-20 standard. Now, there we go. Developers can now deploy QRC-20 contracts on Ethereum. QRC-20 is the new multi-DLT standard for digital assets. Developed by Quant, its purpose is to unlock single DLT limitations for new digital assets and tokens and enable transition from ERC-20, watch that, ERC-20 to QRC-20 for existing tokens, and enable a transition. I'm emphasizing on that because, just like I said earlier, there's going to be a massive explosion in QRC-20 tokens only because people get sick and tired of the gas fees with ERC-20. Therefore, they transit from ERC-20 to QRC-20 for existing tokens, right? Remember that in your mind. Remember Quant. That's right. Now, talking about that, now we have some interesting news here. JP Morgan develops blockchain systems for Siemens payments. What is that? Siemens is very directly connected to Quant, I believe, and Siemens, you can check them out, has partnered with Siemens to develop a blockchain system for German industrial group payments. Right, so you can see the clues of Quant Network. Okay, their inroad rails with like partnerships and all happening behind the scenes. Although the CEO Gilbert Verdian may not be mentioning all this progress with the community, but I think it is for a good reason, because when the news comes out, definitely there is going to be a price appreciation in the charts. Sorry, yeah. So Siemens said the improved automation is needed to process the far greater number of payments it expects due to the growing popularity of payment models like pay per use. So there are now fintech companies or banks that have actually they feel like they're behind time, they're behind the race of cryptocurrency, and they want a slice of the pie, right? So they are getting into the game, and when what happens when there's institutional adoption, right? For a token like Quant with such the tokenomics where there's 14 million supply, trust me that it is going to see a huge price appreciation for Quant, right? Once again, none of this is financial advice. Now moving on, right, we have 38.988 holders, 38,988 holders of Quant by on the date of December 18, 2021. This is brought to you by Quant News. I love their Twitter page. Check them out if you want to stay updated to Quant News and Quant Network, what's happening in the space. Check their Twitter page out. That's right. So now, talking about the connection to Swift, Quant Network recently hired a team, a member for the team where this person has this experience in Swift, right? They were the head of global PR and event communications from 2010 to 2011 in UK, London, and they were the head of marketing communications. So there is that connection between Quant Network and Swift in terms of who they hire into their team. So I believe this person has definitely a huge experience because of Swift and how Swift is very much established throughout the world, and which is the current standard for payments, right? And we have some fintech companies like Ripple that is directly competing with Swift, and I believe that not just Ripple but Quant will join along with Ripple to take over Swift in the coming years or the coming months. Trust me, Ripple needs Quant and Quant needs Ripple, right? Because both of them are going to work together. Their XRP with the speed, with this cost, low cost, being interoperable with Quant's QRC-20 standard is going to be massive. It's going to be insane, right? Moving on, we have the SIA, right, having a merger with the NEXI group, where the NEXI group, they pushing forward to the European pay tech to evolve along with the pace of the world in regards to cryptocurrency space, right? So SIA has a lot of connections, right, to Quant Network and Quant team, and you see that name above Gilbert Verdian, who is literally the CEO of Quant. And so SIA, in our previous videos we have had that talked about what is SIA and what are they doing and how are they connected to Quant Network. And so if you want to check out my previous video on Quant, do check it out. It's in my channel. Do check it out. I'll put up a link, right? So this SIA, they are joining forces with NEXI group in order to create history in the European pay tech. So that the Europe is a huge industry there, right? The population, the people, the businesses is insane, is massive there. And so when we see this, definitely there is going to be a mass adoption for the Quant network. I believe so. I strongly believe and have a conviction that Quant is going to have mass adoption through all these partners and these inroads that they are creating. Now, coming to the charts for Quant, right? I'm looking at the Binance chart for Quant, actually, which I do not like. Actually, there's a Bittrex Quant Bittrex, is it? If I'm not wrong, that's right. Oh, right. Okay, let me just check that. Right. Because Quant on Binance, the chart doesn't have much history, I believe. Very interesting how in Bittrex the all-time high for Quant is $1,026, and it dropped all the way to $127. I'm not sure when was this. Oh, I think it's can't be Bittrex. It should be something else. Another exchange where basically they have 2 or 3 years of Quant's price action, right? So which gives us more of reference on how Quant actually moves. Nevertheless, the recent price action we have seen is healthy, definitely. There is some upward momentum here. It is respecting this line here, right? So like there is some upward momentum here, and if you look at Twitter, crypto Twitter, the traders, right, coming up with the charts and all, you see them speak about how it has come out of the downtrend triangle, I believe. So I think we can better look at Quant BTC, if I'm not wrong. Quant BTC. If you look at Quant BTC, right, so this is where there is some resistance. There's huge resistance, 1, 2, 3. So it is 479,951 Bitcoin sats, right? Sats is this. They need to break this level. 479951 sats has to be broken, because there's literally, it tried 1, 2, 3, right? 3 times it tried to break that wall, but has not. So we have to look at these levels. Definitely, I think there is a slow gradual increase to fill up this stick, right, with some meat. And once these levels are broken, then we can see probably around these levels, and then go back to all-time high. A retest of all-time high could happen. So I believe I'm super bullish on Quant. They say quamfi, right? Super quamfied. So comment down what's your price prediction for Quant in 2022. And with that being said, happy new year, and may you prosper in the year of 2022, right? With that being said, Crypto Salvo out. Take care.